Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Blow your candles. I'm sure it's someone's birthday, but welcome to another review. This is another small statue review. Let's get into it. Today we'll be doing Quarter the Dead stuff. I don't know much about it at all. I know that it is a game, a board game, and it might be books, I'm not sure. But as you saw in the intro, happy birthday. This is a birthday present for my fiance. She thought they were really cool, so I was like, yeah, why not? So, they are candles. And from what I understand, from just a quick little look on YouTube on what Quarter the Dead is, it's like 3 factions, and it's bone, flesh, and spirit. And these candles are meant to, I'm not sure if they're part of the game or part of the main story or anything like that, or this is just a representation of each one. But yeah, so the candles represent that. They have the little symbols on the front. So yeah, and as you can see, there's a light-up feature. I don't really know what else to say about this, but let's get into the review. This isn't going to be a very long video, but yeah, let's get straight into it, shall we? Alrighty, let's start off with the box as always. As you can see, there's a few different images on it, mainly the front and the back, which are the same image, but one is a concept art, I'm guessing, and the other is the finished product. And they look pretty cool. We'll start off with the back. So the back, I would assume, is the concept. And as you can see, there are 3 different candles, all glowing in their glory. You can see at the top there, it says Quarter the Dead, the light side of darkness. Pretty cool. It's a darkness kind of candles, but they glow, so I guess that's what they were going for, maybe? 3 different candles to signify 3 different factions. We have flesh, spirit, and bone. And the various symbols on the front here are what is their symbols. And together they kind of make this top symbol here, which is, you can see the spirit, the flesh, 4, 5 corners there, and then the bone, which is these spikes here. The skull, I guess, is just for make it look cool. But yeah, that's the Quarter of the Dead symbols put into one. I like that. I like how they kind of fit all together. And then on the side here, you can see that there's the same kind of simplified version of the 3 symbols. On the back, we have the finished product in all their glory and how they look. I think Sideshow kind of just pitched this, and then they were like, yep, perfect, make it. And voila, there you have the candles. It looks like a kind of concept art because the statues vary just ever so slightly. But yeah, I think they turned out really well. You can see that this image is a lot smoother, and this one has kind of that cartoony drawn effect, you know what I mean? Cartoony isn't necessarily like a cartoon, it's just how it has a dark outline rather than a smooth surface, if that makes any sense. Yeah, and at the bottom it just says the Sideshow Quarter the Dead stuff. Yeah, really cool, simple, quick, easy. Yeah, let's get the figures out here and start the review, shall we? Right, here we have flesh. And naturally, flesh would be the more red, fleshy colored one, which is pretty cool. I do like this one. It's not my favorite out of the 3, but we'll talk about it. So they all kind of have the same kind of candle holder base, which is pretty cool. Then a stem, and then a whole bunch of melty stuff, a stem for the neck, and then the head, with stylized kind of look to it. So we'll look at this section and then the head first. All right, so here is the main part of the candle, not including the head, of course, but you can see there's this kind of grayish look to the base, dark gray, and then a slight aged dry brush with some silver, and then it looks like there's a little bit of bronze in there too. The symbol in the front there is painted a little sloppy, as well as the same kind of like between the red and the like metal holder here. It's not the best, but because it is so small and so finicky, it doesn't really draw too much attention, which is okay. And yeah, so it's a solid piece, and then all these little drippy details are really nice. That sculpt looks really cool. It actually looks like it is kind of melty wax, which is awesome. And then yeah, you can see like it's almost like it has like a collar to the bone structure, or the stem of the neck, which is cool. I like that. It actually looks like it's melty quite quite nicely, and I do like that. I think the only thing that would have made it a little bit better if they added a slight moist effect to the melted areas, because you know when you burn a candle, those waxed areas kind of start having a nice bright shine to it, you know, reflective shine. But that's okay. It looks pretty cool matte as well. I do like the color variation between the pinky red to the orange. Kind of gives it a glowing look, which is nice. The glowing look would be obviously from the head, which is the main focal point of the light source. Let's move up, shall we? All right, so here is the head. Looks pretty cool. It would be really difficult to be able to sculpt a melting object that is on fire, if that makes sense, because you have all these like sculpted drippy bits here, and then it kind of morphs into a flame, which is pretty cool. A little bit of smoke, which is awesome. The skull looks really cool. I do like the countersunk eyes, and then like the sticky bits. I think they could have done these like sticky bits a little bit better. If I show you the front of the box there, it is like this, but it's a continuation of the long kind of stick bit here, rather than a single cylinder that's coming down. So that doesn't really translate as well, but that's fine. It still looks all right. And yeah, I think it looks good. It looks really cool. The top part, you can see the difference between the top and the neck here. It's kind of like a translucent resin almost, and obviously they would have the light source or the LED on the inside there. I do like the detail in the face, how the cheekbones jut out and then it's got drips coming down. Same with the jaw. It's kind of like characteristically elongated and stuff like that. It looks really nice. The teeth are kind of like a molded there rather than teeth, you know. They're all melted together almost. It looks really cool. I think it's very well done. And yeah, let's turn on the light source and have a look, shall we? So there it is. There's the light source. And it's coming across a little brighter on camera than it is in person. It is more of a red hot orange, which is pretty cool. But you can see like the difference in the neck joint there, where it's not really one piece, which kind of sucks. And then the top of this here, which I would assume the lightest part, is the darkest, which is kind of shit. The flickering is a nice effect, and the translucent paint is really nice too. All those lovely paint details kind of just disappear as soon as we turn this on. And as you can see, what I meant with the bits in the eye there, it kind of carries on through and you can't really see it that well. So it looks like he has a small eye than it actually is. His eye's meant to come out all the way to this end here. But with a light source, it looks like just that round cylinder bit there is his eye. And then when you turn it off, that becomes apparent that that's his eye because it's a little bit darker than the rest of it. I do like the yellow paint. I forgot to mention that. The yellow paint in the face looks really nice, brings out that detail. That's pretty much it for this guy. Alrighty, here we have Soul. And the Soul one is really cool. I love the fire effect at the top and the back of the head. Looks really nice. I really do like it. Yeah, it's the same kind of paint details and same kind of base. The same kind of paintwork is slightly sloppy on the transition between the blues and the blues of the circle here and then the base. But the sculpt is completely different, which is really cool. I love the fact that they stylized each one differently to each faction, which is really cool. I love that part about these statues. So let's take a look at the base, shall we? So I'm not going to pay too much attention to the bottom here. As I mentioned in the flesh one, it's all the same, kind of paint-wise. But the sculpt on the collar bit is so much more mystical. It's rather than drips and stuff like that, there's more, I guess, flame work. You know, the flames kind of going down the shaft here, which is really cool. There's some wispy bits and it's colored really nicely. I like this greeny blue, and then reaches up to quite a bright light blue and these dusty lighter blues through it. It looks really nice. I do like that. I think the color of this one is probably my favorite. But yeah, it looks nice. Let's move on up to the head, shall we? Looks really cool. Kind of blends into the background blue there. But you can see it kind of, it's different stylized flame, which is really cool. It's more of a, you know, mystical, spiritual flame. So it's blue and there's more wispy bits to it, so that's what I mean by smoky. It looks really cool. I love the elongated point of the jaw to give this one character, and then the details of the eye sockets are more visible rather than the other one being a little bit less visible to the streaks. And then this one has the same kind of jaw and teeth work, how it kind of blends together. And then I only just noticed this, but if you consider this and this being its ears, it changes the whole thing. It looks really goofy now. But anyway, so you can really see the deep blues and the light blues and the white shading over it. I would have probably liked a little bit of white shading through the front of the face, similar to what they did with this one here, how it kind of has a brighter face. This one doesn't really have that. It looks fine, but I think that they could have gotten away with a little bit more detail, or like a little bit of the detail popping more if they had that. But yeah, it looks nice. The back of the head is sculpted quite cool too. Again, you can see the same sort of seam where the translucent resin and the normal resin kind of just matches, but it's still quite, you can see it. You can see that seam quite well because of the different materials. I think they should have maybe made the bottom here a little bit darker, and that wouldn't have been as prominent, you know? But it looks really cool. I like that. And we'll put on this light effect to see what it looks like, shall we? Alrighty, here we have the light bit. And it is crazy how much this is so much more bright on camera than it is in person. In person, it's more of a deep blue, but in camera, it's like a purpley white blue. And that looks so cool. Both of them look really, really cool. I'm sorry I can't like show you the difference between what they actually look like and what the camera's picking up. But yeah, I love the fact that it shines through most of it, and the reflection of the light coming out on these things really do make it look like a candle. Again, the difference between the top here and the chin here is not the best. Oh, not the difference, the similarities between the top and the bottom here isn't the best. I feel like they should have added either the LED higher or multiple LEDs, so this bit here would be quite visible and vibrant and bright, rather than just having it smack bang in the middle. Similar to the Dark Souls bonfire, the light doesn't reach all the way up to the top licks of the flames, you know what I mean? But it still looks cool. I do like it. We don't have it displayed on ever, but the fact that they do have a light up feature is really cool. Let's move on to the next one, which is Bone. Alrighty, here we have Bone. And this is probably my favorite out of the three. I'll let you guys know why in a little bit, but same kind of deal, same base, same shaft, different kind of melty bits. This is more of a, I would say, more of a rough, and considering it bone, it's meant to be a little bit more sharp, you know what I mean, compared to sharper and more defined lines than the other two, as in one is flesh, mostly flesh, melting, and then the next one is spirit, or soul, so it's kind of like wispy and smoky, and then this one is more defined, more sharp edges and stuff like that, which is cool. I like that. The difference between each one of them is awesome, but the similarities between each one really makes it one piece, you know what I mean? So this one's pretty cool. Let's have a closer look at this collar and melty bits, shall we? Again, I'm not going to go through the details of here. Same details on the candle holder. It's a little bit sloppy paint, and you got silvers, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the symbol there. So yeah, as you can see what I mean, the details are a little bit sharper. You know what I mean? And considering it is bone, like I said, it makes sense. One side of the collar is bigger than the other. The neck is kind of jutting out, but still straight. Really cool. Almost looks like a limb of some sort, which I think that's what they were going for. And yeah, you can see the lighter greens and yellows through here. Same with the back here. Look at all the nice details on the thing there. It almost looks like it has a spine just there, like little bumps there. It looks like a spine of some sort, which is cool. Let's move on to the head, shall we? I like this head sculpt a little bit better than the others, purely because, honestly, it's just the jaw. I like how the jaw is kind of crooked. You see how it's got like an overbite and it's kind of like shifted to one side a little bit more. The teeth don't quite line up and the details in the faces are a little bit better. I think that's why I like it. I do like the wispy soul one a little bit better, how the head comes up like that with all the different flames going through it. This one is just like a single flame and it almost looks like it's part of bone, which I guess is what it's meant to be. More angled, more sharp, as I was saying before. Looks really cool. You can see the translucency a little bit better. It almost looks like there isn't any paintwork in the back here. Maybe on the top, but this area here, I think they were like, you know what, it looks fine the way it is. I don't think we need to add much paintwork. And I agree. I don't think they needed to. Because of the translucency, it kind of just has its own paintwork almost. And obviously the face paint is a lot lighter than the back, which looks really nice, and I do like that. I think the darkness in the eyes and the nose pops out a little bit more. And yeah, I like the stylization, pointed jaw, big eyes, etc. Let's put on this light source and see what we can see. And here we have it. Looks cool. Very, very, very bright. I do like the light up effect on this one. Same kind of deal though. You can see the difference in the translucent resin and the neck stem resin, and then the top here too. It just doesn't quite meet the expectations of, you know, a light feature, if that makes any sense. Again, we don't use the light feature, but that's okay too. So let's get all of these guys out and talk about all of them as a whole. Alrighty, here we have them all. I think they look really cool back to back like this. It almost looks like the flames at the top of each one is kind of like coexisting, which is kind of what they're meant to be doing. Two sides of a coin and all that kind of stuff. Life and death, black and white, heaven and hell, etc., etc. Pretty cool. So, yeah, the one thing I would have really liked to see is each symbol glowing with the light source at the top, the LEDs at the top. I don't think they went with that because they have a flickering mechanism, but even in the concept art, they have the bottom bit here glowing, which kind of sucks that they didn't go with that, or even just like a glowy effect with paint. But that's okay. As a whole, I think they look really nice all together, but if you were to pick them apart, I wouldn't buy one of these, you know what I mean? For the price I got them for, I think it's a decent price. But yeah, it was a really good birthday present for my fiance. And yeah, I got asked at work when I mentioned that it was my fiance's birthday, like, what did you get her? And I said birthday candles. And they were very confused in what I meant. And because not many of them know that I'm a collector, they kind of just left me. Just, okay, cool, kind of situation. But yeah, that's kind of it for the review. Alrighty, thank you for watching this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry I didn't know too much about this. Again, it just looked really cool and my fiance really digged it. So I got it for, because I had the spec points. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me what you think about this. If you have played this game or if you have read the books, you can give me a quick synopsis on if these guys are important to the books or the games. I think they're really, really cool. I love them. They look awesome. The design's pretty good. Guys, thank you to my Patreons, Amy, WebSinger91, and Kay Helson. Thanks for staying in there, guys. I appreciate it. And thank you to all my viewers. There's been a decent amount of traffic on the Dante back there. My Spider Gwen has got over a K, as well as my Scarlet Spider, so thank you very much for that. I did not think the Scarlet Spider would do that well, but again, thank you everyone. I've got over 60 subscribers now and it's slowly climbing, and I'm very, very grateful to everybody who's watching my videos. Thanks everyone, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day or evening or week or weekend, whatever it is. I hope you guys stay safe.